So there's undeniable proof that Warner Brothers, they are going to attack JD hard this month, as well as I think put a bullseye on myself. I'll show you evidence of that. With Warner Brothers going full press attack mode in their desperation. Why? Because they need to protect AH. They need to deflect criticism. Otherwise, their billion-dollar brands, they are done, and they know it. Now, what's crazy is that Warner Brothers, they're trying to hide their involvement in this too, while making good on promises they would come after JD if he mentioned them in the courtroom. This is important. You and I, we need to talk about it today. Make sure everyone knows what they're doing too. Oh man, crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Here's a question. When people see Discovery Plus is putting out a documentary series talking about JD versus AH, do you think that they think, hey, that's Warner Brothers? See, that's how Warner Brothers hides their attack, because most people don't understand. Warner Brothers and Discovery, they're the same company. In fact, if you look, they merged on the first day of the JD versus AH trial. In fact, the public doesn't realize that Warner Brothers, they made threats and demands before the case even began, telling both parties, we want a stipulation where neither of you will mention our brand in any way. AH complied, JD didn't, and Warner Brothers threatened him, saying that they were going to get even, with Warner Brothers' own words putting their company on blast, telling you this is indeed an attack, no matter how they try to spin this stuff. I mean, listen to this. This tells you everything that you need to know. The first episode, it's going to focus on JD. And of course, you begin with JD, so you can lay the groundwork. You can flip the script and say, well, this is what AH said about this. Yeah, they hammer certain points home. They're going to bring up details from his volatile childhood. So, he was embedded in that. Therefore, that's what he knows. Plus, they're going to bring up his drug dependencies. That was what she brought up in the court over and over again, by the way. Again, it lays the groundworks for the attack. Plus, this drives me crazy when I see this wording, an alternate version of events showing that JD, he was the victim of DV. You mean the events that the jury actually agreed with? You're calling that the alternate version of events? Again, when you adopt that wording, that tells you what they are saying is real. Their second part, that's going to focus on AH, including her detailed description of the, I'm going to say, violation with a bottle. That's the best way to put that out. Told on camera for the first time, as well as JD defenders attacking her mercilessly through social networks. Notice how that's described there. Those people, they're the bad guys, according to their press release. Now, another thing that proves that this is going to be an attack, and I think says they're going to put that bullseye on me, is who exactly they invite to the party. I mean, if you look at this post here from James, this is James from court, one of many people that was there, so they could give you hands-on descriptions of what happened. They tell you first, as expected, we're going to have this come up, what day it comes up, and then they say, I wonder if anyone from YouTube or LawTube was contacted for this. How can they make a documentary without telling the story of online commentary? And you see all the tags here. Now, people that were mentioned in the courtroom, with the Adam Waldman statement, you had Incredibly Average, The Real Laura B. Neither one of those, they were invited. Also, when you look at commentators like, say, Rekieta Law, he wasn't invited as well. But guess what? Yours truly, I was. Now, here's the invite bait that they threw out for yours truly. Astounding, isn't it? I talk about the seas and some merfolk. They think they're going to land me like a fish. But you'll notice they don't bring up the glaring conflicts of interest when it comes to Warner Brothers. Instead, they focus on themselves. Hey, We're an award-winning production company based in the UK. They tell you, we're doing this for Discovery Plus. They figure you haven't done your homework. They can put you in a hit piece, and that's what this is. They prove it, too. Remember that talking point that I showed you that said JD defenders mercilessly attacking her through social media? Well, their spin to try to get me involved is to say, hey, you're a prolific YouTuber. I am, by the way. Make a lot of videos covering the trial and its aftermath, and mentioned during the trial by Adam Waldman, so it would be great to speak with you. Remember, there were two other people that were mentioned by Adam Waldman as well. Laura B., she wasn't invited. Incredibly Average, not invited as well. And as far as prolific YouTubers are concerned, they always love to talk about how many videos I've made. I've made them over years. Places like Law and Crime, they made more than I did, and they made them in weeks. Now, they tell you, too, it's going to cover the trial and what it says about society's views on celebrity. It's going to cover the media and DV. Yeah, they're telling you, we researched this stuff. We're going to cover evidence and on, while telling you also, we're not going to be talking about that really. Not at all. Another thing that they just casually omit, I'm sure it just slipped their mind when they were talking to the media and they were talking to me when they were trying to reel me in, is that it isn't their first rodeo. Oh no, they were involved not only in a hit piece for JD, this being a documentary series that came out pre-trial. So you had a pre-trial and then you have one in the aftermath trying to spin from a different view. And guess who was paying the checks then? Oh, the same freaking people. That's right. Now me, I wonder this. I wonder with them going after folks, again, JD, of course, that's their primary target, but other folks on social media, I wonder if they're trying to get even with people like myself because I called them out for this. I mean, after all, they promised that they would be focusing on facts surrounding the case. They were going to analyze evidence. They were going to do rigorous research. And what they did is they put together one of the nastiest pieces of work that I've seen. They put people like Bot Sentinel, they put them on display, but they never told you, hey, these folks, they were hired by that team to do this work. Again, it must have just slipped their mind, right? What I love about this desperate attack, too, is that, number one, it is going to fail in utterly. And Warner Brothers, they can't afford this. I mean, their last misstep and miscalculation cost them $20 billion in market cap. They have to be afraid with this. That's why they won't take credit for it. Make them take credit for it. And also, they're telling you they not only fear that celebrity they're talking about, they fear you picking up the microphone, becoming an arbiter of truth. That's why they put the bullseye on you when you get loud. They want to shut you down. They try their best to do it. Never, ever let them make you go silent. Even if they shut one of us down, we are powerful because there are more of us in line. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Share it everywhere too. If you want to help the channel out, there are links in the description. Check that out. But you being here, making these messages powerful, that's what really matters. Thank you. Appreciate you. Ending here. See you soon.